So Bob is here today to be fit with a brand new technology, or it's actually not a new technology, it's a new application of the technology. It's an elbow brace that is controlled by myoelectrics. It's a motorized joint that will allow him to control and position his hand in space by moving his elbow. With stroke patients and patients that have neurologic upper limb involvement, there's been very little that's been done for them in the past to create some sort of functional upper extremity. There has been some work with some hands for doing some things to open and close fingers, but that's not horribly valuable if you can't position that hand in space to actually put it somewhere to take something or hold something. So what this is allowing patients to do is patients who were unable to move their elbow before, now they will be able to flex and extend their elbow in order to position their hand in space to perform functional tasks. It's the little things, it's the things that the rest of us take for granted. So something like being able to cut your own food. Bob can't do that right now, unless it's a very soft food. He can't cut a steak. He can't position his hand to do that. It's simple things like that, being able to bring, something to your face. It's things that we take for granted, but for somebody like Bob, this can open up, a lot of new avenues for him. The way myoelectrics work, when we fire a muscle, the muscle gives off a discharge, if you will. It gives off an actual charge. So we have electrodes that are on the surface of the muscle that pick that charge up. And that acts as an on-off switch for the motor in the elbow. So when he fires his bicep, it picks up the charge and it tells the device, bend the arm, and that the motor actually flexes the arm. And then there's two ways he can extend, and it's different modes. He can actually relax his bicep, and then the device will power him into extension. Or when he ultimately gets well trained with it and goes into dual mode, he'll be able to fire his bicep to flex and fire his tricep to extend. And it's really as simple as that. It's just picking up this charge that tells us it's time to turn on and the motor starts working. This is something that we've been using in prosthetics for a long time now, and really now we're just taking this technology that we've been benefiting from in prosthetics and using it in orthotics. We're seeing a lot of new devices, particularly for the upper extremity, the neurologic upper extremity, that are coming out. A lot of them right now are more therapeutic devices than functional devices. The great thing about the MyoPro is that it's not only therapeutic and can be used in rehabilitation, but it's also a functional device. So once they go through that therapy and learn to use it, they can actually use it for functional activity. So I think for him, as he starts to find it useful in his life, the light bulb's going to click on. Right now he's got a lot of work to do. So right now it's kind of like, oh, this is hard to do. He sees it working, he sees it moving, he's tried this a couple times. But I think once he actually, cuts that first steak, that's when he's going to go, this is great. I didn't have to call my wife over to cut my meat for me. This is a good thing.